Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So in the last lessons we discussed how you need to bring emphasis or you don't need to bring emphasis. But then the question arises, how do you bring emphasis? What words give emphasis? So that's what the author is discussing in the next text. So they say here, وَيَكُونُ التوكيد بإن وأن ولام الإبتداء وأحرف التنبيه والقسم ونوني التوكيد والحروف because والحروف الزائدة والتكرير وقد وإما الشرطية. And توكيد happens via إن أن لام الإبتداء أحرف التنبيه قسم نوني التأكيد. We'll explain all this in detail. حروف الزائدة تكرير قد and الشرطية. So how many times have they mentioned here? He's mentioned 10 ways you can bring ta'keed or tawkeed. There are a few more as well. We'll learn through all of these in detail, inshallah. So you need to bring ta'keed if it's inkari or maybe even it's talabi. But how do you bring this ta'keed? What words give tawkeed? Is discussing this shortly here. Okay? Right. Now, before, this is not the text in the book, but before we go into ta'keed and tawkeed, what really is tawkeed? How do you get the meaning? What does ta'keed mean? So literally, see the saddle. This is called a sarj. Okay? And what do you do with this? You get these to tie and make it what? Strong and firm. So these suyud, these laces are called tawakid or ta'akid. So originally, like pre-balagah, in Arab, when they're talking about camels and horses and poetry before, they would use this. I mean, this is called ta'akid or tawakid. So that you tie that. So basically, what do you do with those laces? You make the saddle firm and strong. So similarly, you make your kalam firm and strong. What ta'keed and tawkeed really means. It's made from this. So derived from this. You can see how the meaning is derived. Okay? So let's get into the actual wording of. So the first is inna. And everybody knows inna. Harf mushabbar bihun bil fa'il. How do you translate it? Inna. Verily or. Verily is one translation. Verily, surely, or indeed. Okay? And sometimes you can even leave it out as well. Sometimes in text, sometimes you don't always have to translate it, but it creates an emphasis. The second one is anna. For example, ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ اللَّهَ نَزَّلَ الْكِتَابَ بِالْحَقِّ. So inna gives emphasis and anna gives emphasis. Gee, what's the question you should have here now?
What's the difference?
No, that's a nahwa question. Another question is what? The anna is a harf al-masdar, isn't it? Because anna is used to make a jumla ismiya into a slot of a mufrad. So I thought it's harf al-masdar. Why are we saying ta'keed? You get what I'm trying to say? We know inna is just used, its sole purpose is to create emphasis. But anna is not to create emphasis. Anna's purpose is actually to make a jumla ismiya into one slot, to fit into the mubtada slot, the fa'il slot, the maf'ul slot, the khabar slot. Do you understand? So how do you call it harf al-ta'keed? How is this give ta'keed? The reason for this is that this is not original for ta'keed, but this versus this. أَنَّ اللَّهَ نَزَّلَ الْكِتَابَ بِالْحَقِّ. This is more emphatic than this. ذَلِكَ بِتَنزِيل. Because tanzil is masdar as well, isn't it? So if you say ذَلِكَ بِتَنزِيلِ اللَّهِ الْكِتَابَ بِالْحَقِّ, this is not as emphatic as this. ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ اللَّهَ نَزَّلَ الْكِتَابَ بِالْحَقِّ. So both happens what? ذَلِكَ المبتدا baz harf jar and the rest is majroor. This is also majroor. So you got two ways of carrying out, of expressing its meaning. One is by the masdar itself, or one is via harf al-masdar. This is more emphatic than this. That's why it's classified as a harf al-ta'keed. You understand? So even though the primary purpose or one of the main purposes is to make it into a harf al-masdar, to make a jumla into a slot, it also carries the benefit of ta'keed. Do you ask a question?
So basically the reason for anna is the reason why it's in tawkeed is because it changes the order of the sentence, so that's perhaps the reason why.
Possibly one of the reasons, but they would generally accept this to be more emphatic than this. Okay? So we've done two so far. Okay? The third one, lam al-ibtida. What does lam al-ibtida mean? The lam al-ibtida is the lam which comes on the mubtada to create emphasis. Okay? For example, أنتم أشد رحبة في صدورهم من الله. They are more scared of you. You have more awe in their hearts than Allah. So the antum is the mubtada. What's the la? That's the lam al-ibtida. La antum. وَلَدَارُ الْآخِرَةِ خَيْرٌ. So la, the darul akhirati is mubtada, khayrun is what? Khabar. But the lam is what? Lamul ibtida. You got it? So that's one answer. The last way here I thought I'd bring this point about is that some people don't call it lam al-ibtida. Some nuhat and some scholars on nahwa, they call it, they say really what's happening here is that this lam is actually jawabul qasam. What they would say that really what's happening here is wallahi is mahzoof. Wallahi is mahzoof and la antum becomes a jawabul qasam. And this lam, they call it, they say lam al-tawti'ati lil-qasam. What do they call it? لام التوطئة للقسم.
But isn't there already qasam in these types?
Where?
As in the 10 types, there's a qasam, isn't there?
Yeah, but this lam also indicates qasam. There's a qasam hidden before it.
But it's mahdhuf.
Yes, that's one opinion. That's one way of analyzing it. And the other analysis is no, it's not hidden. It's that lam al-ibtida doesn't have a qasam before it. So lam al-ibtida, there's two ways of analyzing it. One say that it's a particle of emphasis on its own. And some say no, that lam al-ibtida is actually part of the jawab al-qasam. Okay? You got it? Right? Now, you've done this nahwa already. If the sentence has inna, sentence has what? Inna. If it has inna, then you can't have lam inna la. The lam does what? The lam comes on the mubtada usually. When inna comes, the lam moves down to the khabar. And zahlaqa yuzahliqu zahlaqatan means to slide down, push down. So really, so the lam al-muzahlaqa is really lam al-ibtida, which has pushed down because of inna. Inna has come, so because of inna, it forces the lam al-ibtida that way. So that's now lam al-ibtida now called lam al-muzahlaqa. It also gives the same emphasis as lam al-muzahlaqa, as lam al-ibtida. But obviously when lam al-muzahlaqa come, there'll be two because lam al-muzahlaqa and inna. You follow? Yeah? So lam al-ibtida is also a particle of emphasis, and the lam al-ibtida which becomes lam al-muzahlaqa is also a particle of emphasis. Moving on, tanbih. What's harf tanbih? Is like, you say in English, listen carefully. Low, listen. So ala, they have other, but ala is the most common one. Ala, listen carefully. So it draws your attention. So that also creates an emphasis. So for example, innahum humul ala innahum humus sufaha. Before you actually say this information, you draw the person's attention by saying ala. So they're attentive. So that's also a way of emphasizing what you're going to say. You get what I'm saying? Nobody's going to say, everybody listen very carefully. I'm going to sit down now. That's not emphasis. But it's like, listen very carefully. Exams will start next week. So it's trying to say that the information I'm going to give later on is what very important. So that also creates an emphasis. Number 5 is qasam. You only take an oath when there's qasam. So for example, wal asr. So when you say, well, Allah swearing by something, you say by Allah, wallahi. So that means that the point you want to state is very, very important. So wal asr innal insana lafi khusr. So because this is very important, you bring the asr, you take a qasam to show that this point coming ahead is also very important. Also emphasis. Noon at-ta'kid, the two types of noon. Which one is? Al-thaqila, meaning the one with shadda, or the one with khafifa, lanasfa'an. So lanasfa'an, so one latus'alunna. So noon muthaqqala, the thaqila, that's also for emphasis. And the noon al-khafifa, meaning it's written as a noon sakin. But when it comes in the Quran, you don't write, it doesn't come like this. You don't say lanasfa'an. So when you see in normal books, it comes like this, lanasfa'an. But wherever it's come in the Quran, it's come nasfa'an. That's how it's supposed to be. But in the Quran, it comes as what? If a alif and a tanween, a double fatha. It comes here, it comes in Surah Yusuf as well. وَلَيَكُونَ مِنَ الصَّاغِرِينَ. So wherever it comes in the Quran, it comes with a alif and a double fatha. It doesn't come with a noon sakin. But really, that's how it is supposed to be. Do you understand? So they're both noons, the noon thaqila and the noon khafifa. You follow? Yeah? Huruf al-Za'ida. Okay? Now, the thing of huruf al-Za'ida is that when you say huruf al-Za'ida, Za'ida means it is extra. In terms of tarkib, it has no position in tarkib. But the Arabs, in the Arabic language, proper Arabic language, they don't have extra words. Everything has a purpose. So it's a Za'ida in terms of tarkib, but then it creates a meaning. It creates emphasis, ta'kid. Do you understand? So this is the huruf al-Za'ida. When you say a Za'ida, it means that there's no tarkib slot for it, but it has created emphasis. For example, a few examples. إِذَا مَا. It came in your muntakhawa as well. إِذَا مَا مَرَّ يَوْمٌ. إِذَا مَا ذَهَبَ يَوْمٌ ذَهَبَ بَعْدِي. So look, إذا ما. So when إذا is comes on إذا is the normal particle. And then ما is what? ما is a زائدة. ما is the extra. Allah comes in the Quran. وإذا ما أنزلت سورة فمنهم من يقول أيكم زادت هذه إيمانا. So this ma is emphatic. It creates more emphasis of the إذا. The other one is min الزائدة. Min. So what happens to min? Min comes on the fa'il or the maf'ul to give the meaning of any. This is also called min الزائدة or min الاستغراقية. So for example, really is ma tasqatu. So saqata yasqutu means what? To fall or to drop. And waraqa means leaf. So really, this whole thing is a fa'il. What does that mean? And no leaf dropped except that Allah knows about it. So what could have been said was ma tasqutu waraqatun. But to create emphasis, what do you say? Ma tasqutu min waraqatin. So instead of saying no leaf drops, not a leaf drops. On any leaf, no leaf drops. So it's more emphatic than just saying it waraqatun. And it usually comes as a fa'il or the maf'ul. If you want more detail of this, it's a nahwa book. In the printer I'll give you today, it's in there inshallah. Okay? So al min al-za'ida. Check under huruf al-jar and the min za'ida, the discussion is there. Okay? You follow? Ba za'ida. For example, wa kafa billahi hasiba. So what happens? The ba is za'ida. So what? Lafzul jalala is the fa'il. What does ba do? Creates emphasis. Okay? An. So it's really falamma ja al-bashir. But the an is just there to give it a stretch and to give it a emphasis. فَلَمَّا أَنْ جَاءَ الْبَشِيرُ. Okay, so all these huruf za'ida, they create what? As I said, it creates ziyada and za'ida in terms of tarkeeb, but it gives more emphatic meaning. So when you say idha ma, that is more emphatic than idha. When you say min za'ida instead of just ma tasqut waraqatun, it creates emphasis. Same with kafa billah, kafa Allahu, kafa billah is more emphatic. Say فَلَمَّا أَنْ جَاءَ الْبَشِيرُ is also more emphatic. You got it? Takreer. What does takreer mean? Takreer same as takrar. Takreer is takrar. Same thing. They're both masters of karra, karrara. So karrara is the madhi, and one master is takreer and one master is takrar. Both mean the same thing. To repeat. So obviously when you repeat something over and over again, what happens? It has emphasis. For example, where does you takrar a lot? Which surah? Surah Al-Rahman. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تكذبان. So it's repeating something over and over again. كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون. This creates a توكيد and emphasis. قد. When you put the kalima قد before a verb, it creates what a meaning? Indeed. قد أفلح من تزكى. Indeed, or surely, verily, that person is successful who has purified himself. But whilst we're discussing قد also comes, when قد comes in mudhari, it can have two meanings. One meaning is sometimes. No emphasis here. When it comes to mazi, it's always emphasis. When it comes to mudhari, it can have both. For example, the word here, yasduqul kadhub. So, qad yasduqul kadhub. What does that mean? Sometimes a liar speaks the truth. So this means here sometimes. So sometimes a liar speaks the truth. Another example of qad is not for emphasis, but to show that the action has just taken place. To show the recent past.
That one goes in Madi, doesn't it?
What's that? Qad. But when qad comes in Mazi, it can have emphasis and it can also have the recent past meaning.
You can't have sometimes.
Huh?
You can't have sometimes.
And a Mazi? No. Mudhari can also have the emphasis meaning as well. For example, in the Quran, قَدْ يَعْلَمُ That word comes in the Quran, قَدْ يَعْلَم. Indeed, Allah knows. Okay? And the last one they mentioned here is amma ash-shartiyya. What happens? You have a mubtada khabar. If you say, for example, Zaydun qa'imun. What do you have? Zaydun Yeah? Zaydun qa'imun. That's simple. If you change this around slightly and you say, Amma Zaydun faqa'imun. That does what now? Creates more emphasis. So for example, Allah says in the Quran, instead of saying, Man thaqulat mawazinu fahuwa fi radiyah, He says what? فَأَمَّا مَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ. So bringing the amma is also another way of creating emphasis. So those are the 10 particles that we discussed in the book. There are a few more I just want to run through with you quickly. Just bring your attention towards. Number one is to bring the fa'il first as a mubtada. So for example, يَعْصِمُكَ اللَّهُ مِنَ النَّاسِ. So it really means Allah will save you from the people, protect you from the people. So really the fa'il, this is the fa'il, isn't it? In terms of meaning. By tarkib, what does it become? Mubtada. So this is more emphatic than saying Ya'simuka Allahu. Do you understand? If you say Allahu Ya'simuka, that's more emphatic. And if you say Ya'simuka Allah, it doesn't have that much emphasis. So that's also another way of bringing emphasis, by bringing the fa'il as a mubtada. Another example is in al-mukhaffafa. So what happens really? You have inna. You have inna, but what do? You take out the shadda. You take out that. And you say in. Now how do you know this is not in shartiyya? Because after the khabar always has what? Al-lam. This lam is called lamul fariqa. This all come in nahwa. Lamul fariqa. That tells you that this in is not in shartiyya, but it's in the meaning of inna. So in al-mukhaffafa, the abbreviated or the shorter or the lightened in also gives emphasis. Zamir al-fasl. You have innahu at-tawwabur rahim. But what you bring for emphasis here? Innahu huwa at-tawwabur rahim. The zamir al-fasl also does what? Create emphasis. Lan also creates emphasis, because if you say la yaf'alu, what does la yaf'alu mean? He will not do. Yeah? La. When you say lan yaf'ala, that means what? Never. So which one has more emphasis? Never. So lan also creates an emphasis. So they say la yaf'alu, he will not do. Say lan. So lan tanalu al-birra hatta tunfiqu mimma tuhibbun. You will never be able to acquire true piety or the highest levels of piety until you sacrifice what you love for Allah's sake. Do you understand? So there were 10 particles that they mentioned as for tawkeed, and here we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more. And you can also do other ways as well. So 10 were in the book, 4 we mentioned here, and there are also other ways you can use to create an emphasis. Okay? But this is what we've done so far. So we've done ibtida'i, talabi, and inkari. Then we've analyzed how to create tawkeed, and tomorrow inshallah we will go through some examples in the Quran where Allah has used ibtida'i, talabi, and inkari levels different. And you will appreciate why there's emphasis here, why there's no emphasis here. Okay? You got it? Any questions? No? Okay. Subhanallah, bihamdi subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.